Greetings and salutations, Mega Wizard 79 here with another episode of Skyrim. So, in our last episode, we did battle with Alduin, only to realize that, well, we can't kill the bastard here on Nirn. We have to essentially fight him on his, what do you call it, like, essentially where the place that he goes to, which is Sovngarde. We all know it's Sovngarde, but, you know, as of now, we don't know, you know, our character doesn't know it's Sovngarde, but yeah, that's the place where we have to go to fight him. So, and to do that, we essentially require to trap one of his allies in Dragon's Reach, which is the Palace of the Jarl of Whiterun. But to do that, we have to essentially guarantee a truce between both the Empire and the Stormcloaks. And to do that, we now have to talk to the Greybeards, specifically Agnir, and see if he's willing to broker peace. Or, you know, at least broker an illusion of it. Anyway, he'll, I'm guessing he's probably all the way up there. Yeah, like, this right here, it's a little tower where they stand up and all they do is shout all day. Ah, here he is. Let's see if he does it. Oh, that's too bad. I figured he'd do it. Oh well.
Alduin? We heard the Dragon Wren shout from here. You defeated him? I feared as much. I thought it was him we saw flying east after your battle. We are not warriors. What is overlooked in the Dragonborn is not permitted to any other followers of the Way of the Voice.
You misunderstand our authority. The Greybeards have never involved themselves in political affairs.
I see. The dragon will lead you to Alduin, but without the Jarl's help. Paarthurnax has made the decision to help you. This is the road we have to walk. Even the Greybeards must bend to the winds of change, it seems. So be it. Tell Ulfric and General Tullius that the Greybeards wish to speak to them. We will see if they still remember us. The old tales say that he can travel into Sovngarde to devour the souls of the dead. You must find out how he does this before he regains his strength and returns. Dragons have the inborn ability to learn and project their voice. Dragons also are able to absorb the power of their slain brethren. A few mortals are born with similar abilities. Whether a gift or a curse has been a matter of debate down through the centuries. What you have already learned in a few days took even the most gifted of us years to achieve. Some believe that Dragonborn are sent into the world by the gods at times of great need. We will speak more of that later, when you are ready. Sky, guard you. Look!
There we go. He just did clear skies. Anyway, alright, so now we have to go to Solitude and Windhelm respectively. Frankly, it really doesn't matter which one we go to first. So let's head here, since it's the closest. Now, for the sake of, let's see, since technically speaking, this would be the first time my character actually converses with these two individuals, I'm actually going to, sort of, I guess, soak in the moment, if you will, and actually listen to both of them have their discussions with their respective lieutenants.
I find your wolfish strange.
Don't be so sure of that. We've intercepted couriers from Solitude. The Empire's putting a great deal of pressure on Whiterun.
And what would you have me do?
If he's not with us, he's against us.
He knows that. They all know that.
How long are you going to wait?
You think I need to send Bolgraf a stronger message?
If by message you mean shoving a sword through his gullet.
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think?
So we're ready to start this war in earnest then?
Soon.
I still say you should take them all out like you did dead King Torrig.
Torrig was merely a message to the other Jarls. Whoever we replace them with will need the support of our armies.
We're ready when you are.
Things hinge on Whiterun. If we can take the city without bloodshed, all the better. But if not...
The people are behind you.
Many, I fear, still need convincing.
Then let them die with their false kings.
We've been soldiers a long time. We know the price of freedom. But people are still weighing things in their hearts.
What's left of Skyrim to wager?
They have families to think of.
How many of their sons and daughters follow your banner? We are their families.
Well put, friend. Tell me, Galmar, why do you fight for me?
I'd follow you into the depths of oblivion. You know that.
Yes, but why do you fight? If not for me, what then?
I'll die before elves dictate the fates of men. Are we not one in this?
I fight for the men I've held in my arms, dying on foreign soil. I fight for their wives and children whose names I heard whispered in their last breath. I fight for we few who did come home, only to find our country full of strangers wearing familiar faces. I fight for my people, impoverished to pay the debts of an empire too weak to rule them, yet brands them criminals for wanting to rule themselves. I fight so that all the fighting I've already done hasn't been for nothing. I fight because I must.
Your words give voice to what we all feel, Ulfric. And that's why you will be High King. But the day words are enough will be the day when soldiers like us are no longer needed.
I would gladly retire from the world, were such a day to dawn.
Aye, but in the meantime, we have a war to plan.
Only the foolish or the courageous approach a Jarl without summons. Do I know you? Ah, yes. Destined for the chopping block, if I'm not mistaken. A fair point. Well, you've come to the right place then. Speak with Galmar. I'm always looking for able fighters. Not everyone can say they made it out of Helgen. Seems we're all branded villains these days. So long as your criminal past stays in the past, and you fight for me with honor and integrity, we'll welcome you into our ranks.
Your words
Speak with
give
Galmar.
voice to
He'll size you up and see where we can best use your talents.
You will be High King. But the day words are enough will
Not
be the
entirely
day when
true,
soldiers like us
though not
are no
entirely
longer
false either. Any Nord can learn the way of the voice by studying with the Greybeards, given enough ambition and dedication. My shouting Torg to the ground proved he had neither. However, it was my sword piercing his heart that killed him.
Huh. So I guess he must have just used unrelenting force and caused him to tumble over, thus leaving him completely and totally helpless. Interesting. Everyone just assumes that basically he was destroyed when Ulfric just used his Thum on him, but it seems that the events were a tad exaggerated.
I killed Torg to prove our wretched condition. How is the High King supposed to be the defender of Skyrim if he can't even defend himself? Indeed, Elisif has become Jarl of Solitude. Historically and conveniently home of the High King, backed by Imperial interests. But the Moot has not yet met to name her High Queen. And they won't. Not as long as I have any say in it.
That is the hilarious part. As a Jarl, he himself has the right to reject her. And, well, as far as I know, it has to be a unanimous vote. It can't be, you know, like a majority. It has to be all or nothing. Such is the way. A very, it's flawed, but at the same time, because of how the Nord society is, it's not corrupt either. Interestingly enough.
There hasn't been a true High King in Skyrim for generations. For too long, he's been handpicked by the Emperor, and given emphatic nods by milk-drinking Jarls addicted to Imperial coin. It's time we had a real High King, one of our own making. My father, the Great Bear of Eastmarch, died during my imprisonment after the Markarth incident. I, his only son, forced to deliver his eulogy via letter I had smuggled out of prison. Such is the love of Titus meat for his subjects. When finally set free, I returned to Windhelm and was greeted by a city in mourning, at one with my own grief and anger, clamoring in angry voices, calling out for justice, for war. They sat me on the throne of Ysgramor, the throne of my father. I only hope I can prove worthy of that honor.
He certainly carries a heavy burden on himself, wouldn't you say? I swear, it's like, this is kind of the reason why, when I first played this game, I actually chose to become a Stormcloak, despite the fact that, you know, when you really look at it, it's stupidity, you know, to essentially, you know, because when you really think about it, this is no different than the American Civil War. At the end of the day, you know, regardless of how you look at it, losing the South would have been a colossal loss to America as a whole. You know, so, you know, it's like Abraham Lincoln himself said, a house divided cannot stand. So, same thing here. If Skyrim was to break away from the Empire, or at the very least, you know, if this war was actually successful, the implications would be enormous.
Aye, but in the meantime, we have a war to plan.
Anyway, but let's just continue.
It's about time they turned their gaze from the heavens back to our bleeding homeland. What do they want? I have the greatest respect for the Greybeards, of course, and the dragon attacks are a growing plague. But the political situation is still delicate. Not all the Jarls are fully committed to supporting me as High King. I can't afford to appear weak. I can't agree to this unless Tullius himself will be there. Alduin, the World Eater of song and legend. If that's true, well, it changes the situation, doesn't it? Even Tullius may be forced to talk sense in the face of such a threat. Yes, I'll give Tullius one more chance to quit Skyrim with his tail between his legs.
Okay, off he goes. Now let's go talk to General Tullius. Now what's interesting about General Tullius is he's not a Nord. His lieutenant is a Nord. And she, you know, like, to be honest, you know, he knows of the Greybeards, you know, through her, and he realizes that, yes, they are a well-respected body, but at the end of the day, it's like, he's there for the Empire's interests. He's not there for the sake of, like, you know, their stupid Nord traditions or what have you. I mean, he's not, as I said, he's not a Nord, he's an Imperial. Like, basically, if it were up to him, like, he's actually said it himself, it's like, if it were up to me, I would literally just kill every last fucking one of you and just put put an end to it. Like, simple as that. It's like, if you're not with the Empire, you're basically, if you're not with us, you're against us, so you're all just basically corpses as far as I'm concerned. That's why I love General Tullius so much when I finally got to know him. He's such a cool character. He's a real by-the-numbers kind of soldier.
It's not true what they say about you and the Dark Brotherhood, is it?
I'm telling you, Ulfric's planning an attack on Whiterun.
He'd be insane to try. He doesn't have the men.
That's not what my scouts report, sir. Every day more join his cause. Riften, Dawnstar, and Winterhold support him.
It's not a cause. It's a rebellion.
Call it whatever you like, General. The man's going to try to take Whiterun.
Jarl Balgruuf.
Balgruuf refuses the Legion's right to garrison troops in his city. On the other hand, he also refuses to acknowledge Ulfric's claim.
Well, if he wants to stand outside the protection of the Empire, fine. Let Ulfric pillage his city.
General.
You people and your damn Jarls.
Sir, you can't force a Nord to accept help he hasn't asked for.
If Ulfric's making a move for Whiterun, then we need to be there to stop him. Draft another letter with the usual platitudes, but this time share some of your intelligence regarding Ulfric's plans. Embellish if you have to. We'll let it seem like it's his idea.
Yes, sir.
You Nords and your bloody sense of honor.
Sir.
I remember you. You were at Helgen. Speak to Legate Ricka. I suspect we could use someone like you. I see. Then there's nothing further to discuss. If you change your mind, speak with the Legate. The Legion's always been here. Without us to keep order, the provinces would fall into barbarism and lawlessness. Especially Skyrim. Take, for example, Ulfric Stormcloak and his little rebellion. But rest assured, his days are numbered. I'm originally from Cyrodiil, sent here at the request of the Emperor himself. I'm often ordered to places with problems that need fixing. Now, while I'm certain this is all terribly interesting to you, I have important matters to attend to.
Yeah, as you can see.
Speak with Legate Ricka. She will determine if you are Legion material. Ulfric Stormcloak's head rolling away from his lifeless body. Ulfric will want to take Whiterun from us, but we will hold fast. We can't give the rebellion free rein through the center of Skyrim. The Greybeards. What do those old hermits want with me? Why, there's nothing to discuss as long as that traitor Ulfric is in arms against his rightful emperor.
You mean the guy I just killed? There is no emperor anymore. God, I swear, it's like, the guards all know that the freaking emperor's dead, but this guy right here, he's totally out of the loop. The general of the entire Imperial regiment in this zone. Yeah, real good intelligence gathering there, dude. It's precious, it's so precious.
They are getting to be a problem, but I wasn't sent to Skyrim to fight dragons. My job is to quell this rebellion, and I intend to do just that, dragons or no dragons. You may have a point. It's getting difficult to even move troops around without attracting a dragon attack. By all accounts, the Stormcloaks are suffering just as badly. Even Ulfric might see the sense of a truce under these conditions. Yes, fine. I'll come to this Greybeard Council. For all the good it will do.
Okay.
Sir.
Alright, now off they go.
The Greybeards have called a peace council at High Hrothgar. Can you believe it? Both Ulfric Stormcloak and General Tullius have agreed to go.
Well, duh. I'm the one who's brokering it! Oh my goodness. It's precious. It's all precious. Alright, well, away we go! Now then. Just as a little word of warning, what do you call it? If you, how do I put this? Like, you see, oh, wow. Hey, look who's coming.
There's one more thing. We know about Parthenax.
Uh-oh. Didn't mean to break that really quick. But yeah, you see, they're coming here to basically talk about the whole, thing as well. But, essentially, so basically, they were the ones I wanted to talk about really quick. So, prior to this, prior to this whole quest thing starting, I mean, hell, even prior to talking to Parthenax, after talking to Parthenax and then receiving the thing for the Elder Scroll, you can actually, do a little side quest thing for them to basically bolster their ranks and all that stuff, basically finding some followers, bringing them over there, swearing allegiance to you and all that stuff, and then, basically they become permanent followers there, that you can, once you have enough people, you can then go on a dragon hunt and all that stuff to basically get a dragon soul and whatnot, to give you a sort of taste of what to expect if you want to side completely with them. I meant to do that, but it's like, yeah, I mean, that would have just been pointless busy work, if you ask me. Because you see, once you decide not to side with them, those people you sent over there, well, essentially they can't be followers for you anymore because, well, they won't listen to you until you, swear 100% with the Blades. Even though Blades are supposed to be listening to you because you're the Dragonborn, but whatever. Anyway.
So, you've done it. Men of violence are gathered here, in these halls whose very stones are dedicated to peace. I should not have agreed to host this council. The Greybeards have no business involving ourselves in such matters. Yes. Which is why I allowed this violation of all our traditions. But regrets are pointless. Here we are. Take your seat at the council table, and let us see what wisdom we can find among these warriors of Skyrim.
Here they are, and watch this. Oh boy, he's gonna be pissed. He's gonna tell him to fuck off. This is my favorite part.
So, Arngeir, is it? You know why we're here. Are you going to let us in or not?
You're not invited here. You're not welcome here.
We have as much right to be at this council as all of you. More, actually, since we were the ones that put the Dragonborn on this path.
Were you? The hubris of the Blades truly knows no bounds.
Delphine, we're not here to rehearse old grudges. The matter at hand is urgent. Alduin must be stopped. You wouldn't have called this council if you didn't agree. We know a great deal about the situation and the threat that Alduin poses to us all. You need us here if you want this council to succeed.
Very well. You may enter.
God. Oh, Esbern, you're so awesome. My God, it's just, look at these two. These two groups. They just hate each other so much. Anyway. So, the first thing we are going to have to deal with is her.
And so we meet again. But this time I know who and what you really are. I'll give you credit for boldness. But associating yourself with the Blades is a choice you will come to regret.
We all wait upon you, Dragonborn.
Right, my apologies. So, yeah, as you can see, the, Argnir, you know, he's gonna sit right there, but the other three, there's, you know...
Please, take your seat so that we can begin.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, the other three, they're standing in those positions just, in case things get nasty, they can, you know, get right down to it. Anyway.
Now that everyone is here, please take your seats so we can begin. I hope that we have all come here in the spirit
You
of...
insult us by bringing her to this negotiation? Your chief Talos hunter?
That didn't take long.
Here, here.
I have every right to be at this negotiation.
No, you
I
don't.
need to ensure that nothing is agreed to here that violates the terms of the White Gold Concordat.
She's part of the Imperial delegation. You can't dictate who I bring to this council.
Please, if we have to negotiate the terms of the negotiation, we will never get anywhere. Perhaps this would be a good time to get the Dragonborn's input on this matter.
By Izmir's beard, the nerve of those Imperial bastards, eh? To think that I would sit down at the same table with that Thalmor bitch. Either she walks or I. I'm glad we agree on this.
Very well, Ulfric. Enjoy your petty victory. The Thalmor will treat with whatever government rules Skyrim. We would not think of interfering in your civil war.
Ha! Skyrim will never bow to the Thalmor. Unlike your Imperial friends here.
You're lucky I respect the Greybeard's counsel, Galmar.
Legate, we represent the Emperor here.
Sorry, sir. It won't happen again.
Now that that's settled, may we proceed?
I have something to say first.
Here we go.
The only reason I agreed to attend this council was to deal with the dragon menace. There's nothing else to talk about. Unless the Empire is finally ready to renounce its unjust claim to rule over the free people of Skyrim.
I knew he wouldn't be
We're
able to
here
resist.
to arrange a temporary truce to allow the Dragonborn here to deal with the dragons, nothing more. I consider even talking to the Empire a generous gesture.
Are you done? Did you just come here to make speeches, or can we get down to business?
Yes, let's get this over with.
Are we ready to proceed? Jarl Ulfric, General Tullius, this council is unprecedented. We are gathered here at the Dragonborn's request. I ask that you all respect the spirit of High Hrothgar, and do your best to begin the process of achieving a lasting peace in Skyrim. Who would like to open the negotiations?
Yes, let's get down to it. We want control of Markarth. That's our price for agreeing to a truce.
So that's why you're here, Ulfric? You dare to insult the Greybeards by using this council to advance your own position?
Jarl Elisif.
General,
I'll
this is
handle this.
outrageous. You can't be taking this demand seriously. I thought we were here to discuss a truce.
Elisif, I said I'd handle it. Ulfric, you can't seriously expect us to give up Markarth at the negotiating table. You hope to gain in council what you've been unable to take in battle, is that it?
I'm sure Jarl Ulfric does not expect something for nothing.
Yes, that'd be entirely
What would
out
the
of character.
Empire want in return?
Wait, General, you don't intend to just hand over Markarth to that traitor?
This is how the Empire repays us for our loyalty?
Enough. First, let's be clear. This council wasn't my idea. I think it's a waste of time. You are a traitor to the Empire, and deserve a traitor's death. But I at least will negotiate in good faith. Since we're all here at your request, I'd like to hear what you think Markarth is worth.
So, you know, right here, you can either give him a petty hold or give him a major hold. Now, since I am siding with the Empire here, it makes more sense to give them the Rift. And to be honest, even if I wasn't siding with the Empire, it just makes sense for them to have the Rift anyway, because, you know, one major hold for another major hold. It just makes sense. So this is what I'm going to do. You can do whatever you want, but I will be doing the Rift.
The Rift would help secure our communications with Cyrodiil and threaten Ulfric's southern flank.
The Dragonborn has spoken, Tullius. Markarth will be ours. Now we'll see if there's anything behind your talk with good faith.
You disappoint me, Dragonborn. I accepted your invitation on trust in your good name. But it seems you intend to favor Ulfric. I can see now that this is not a negotiation at all. I know you, Ulfric. If I hand over Markarth, you'll be ready with a new demand. You'll never defeat the Empire, and you know it. But you're willing to sacrifice thousands for your own selfish ambition. Soon enough, I'll have you back under the headsman's axe, and this time there won't be any dragon to save you.
As always, the Empire's fine words are worth nothing.
Stop! Are you so blind to our danger that you can't see past your petty disagreements? Here you sit arguing about nothing, while the fate of the land hangs in the balance.
Is he with you, Delphine? If so, I advise you to tell him to watch his tongue.
He is with me. And I advise you both to listen to what he has to say before you do anything rash.
Don't you understand the danger? Don't you understand what the return of the dragons means? Alduin has returned, the World Eater. Even now he devours the souls of your fallen comrades. He grows more powerful with every soldier slain in your pointless war. Can you not put aside your hatred for even one moment in the face of this mortal danger?
I don't know about the end of the world, but this dragon situation has gotten out of hand. If this truce will help the Dragonborn here put an end to that menace, we both gain. Remember that, Ulfric. Now, back to the matter at hand. You know as well as I do that we can't hand over Markarth on these terms.
You see what talking to them gets us?
Out with it, then.
We want compensation for the massacre at Karthwasten.
You slaughtered the very people you claim to be fighting for. True sons of Skyrim would never do such things.
Damned Imperial lies. My men would never stoop to such methods, even in retaliation for
This
your
is our
butchery
homeland,
at...
Tullius. All the blood spilled in this war is on your head.
So, Dragonborn, what do you say?
So you can either, you know, obviously choose, but again, it just makes sense. Like, you know, like, I'm giving Ulfric Markarth, and I also got rid of the Thalmor, so it just makes sense that I should also have him get compensated as well, you know, have, General Tullius here be compensated.
Well said. For once you'll actually pay for your crimes. I suppose that's the fairest deal we're likely to get.
It seems we may have an agreement. Jarl Ulfric, General Tullius, these are the terms currently on the table. Markarth will be handed over to Ulfric's forces, Jarl Igmund will step down, and Thungvor Silverblood will become the Jarl of Markarth. The Stormcloaks will withdraw from the Rift, allowing Imperial troops unhindered access. Jarl Leila Lawgiver will step down, and Maven Blackbriar will become the Jarl of Riften. The Stormcloaks will pay appropriate compensation for the massacre at Karthwasten. You both agree to this?
The Sons of Skyrim will live up to their agreements, as long as the Imperials hold to theirs. What about you, Elisif? Are these terms to your liking? Speak up! I'm sure General Tullius is waiting to do your bidding.
I have nothing to say to that murderer. General, you've proven yourself a good friend to Skyrim. I continue to trust that you will do your utmost to safeguard our interests.
Thank you, Jarl Elisif. I appreciate your loyalty. The Empire can live with these terms, yes, for a temporary truce, until the dragon menace is dealt with. After that, Ulfric, there will be a reckoning. Count on it.
Come on, Galmar. We have a lot of work to do.
Giving up Markarth is a heavy price for this truce, Dragonborn. I hope it was worth it.
Jarl Balgruf, I assume you are familiar with the Dragonborn's plan?
Yes, I'm ready to do my part. Just say the word, and my men will help you spring this trap.
But the difficulty remains how to lure a dragon to Dragon's Reach at all.
Well, that's an excellent question. You haven't overlooked that little detail, have you?
Ah, I believe I can be of help here. I anticipated the problem. While you were arranging this meeting, I was busy in the library of Skyhaven Temple, an unguessed trove of lost lore. But the important thing is that the Blades recorded many of the names of dragons they slew. Cross-referencing this with Delphine's map of dragon burial sites, I believe I've identified one of the dragons that Alduin has raised up. Don't you see? The names of dragons are always 3 words of power, shouts. By calling the dragon with a voice, he will hear you wherever he might be. He's not compelled to, but dragons are prideful by nature and loath to refuse a challenge. Your voice in particular is likely to intrigue this dragon after your victory over Alduin. I think it's very likely that he will be unable to resist investigating your call. Ah, indeed. I'm no master of the voice, like these worthy gentlemen, but it is written here in this scroll. Oda Ving, winged snow hunter, as I read it.
I hope this truce gives you what you need. It won't last.
It never does. Alright, now she's
There's
gonna...
one more thing. We know about Parthenon. That's fine. We needed his help. Now we don't. And it's long past time for him to pay for his crimes. And he's not just any dragon. He was the right hand of Alduin. He committed atrocities so infamous they are still remembered thousands of years later. He needs to die. He deserves to die. And it falls to you to kill him. Until he's dead. Well, I'm sorry, but we would dishonor our oaths as blades if we continued to help you. Make your choice, Dragonborn. You're either with us or against us. Here's the big picture. He helped Alduin enslave our ancestors. He may have betrayed Alduin in the end, but that makes him worse, not better. We can't afford to give Parthenax the opportunity to betray us in turn and return to his old master.
See, this is... That's the overall problem I just kind of have at the end with the Blades. Like, they just... It's weird. It's like, you know, Delphine in particular. Like, Einsburn, he might be negotiable, but she, on the other hand, she only sees us versus them. She's just been in seclusion for way too long. She's been fighting for way too long. She's been hunted for way too long. So she just sees betrayal at every single turn, and I don't blame her. I really don't. You know, living in that kind of a situation, you know, it's unfair to basically say that she shouldn't be thinking like this. It really isn't. You know, but at the same time, it's just... if she would just open up and accept the fact that people can change, you know, not... well, you know, by people, I mean, like, just basically any sentient being, you know, like... I mean, heck, even the gods at some point, some of them were kind of evil, but they turned around, so to speak. But what can you do? Old warriors and whatnot. But yeah, so we're just gonna leave it off here, and in the next episode we're gonna go and catch ourselves a dragon. But until that time, though, this is Mega Wizard 79 bidding you all adieu.